So this is the first course for educational leadership and management in the first semester. And I hope that you will enjoy this course and this program. And you will learn many new things and maybe some revision of some old concepts because you're already having some degrees in education. So in today's lecture, I will be giving you a thorough introduction to the concept of leadership. And that concept is basically, you may say, unique in the sense that you would not have seen such introduction elsewhere. So I give you the brief of leadership in this slide. You can see some words are given over here, and that leadership is having these type of concepts or issues in which any leader is engaged or involved. And you can say that, keep your mics mute, please. मुझे बार बार म्यूट करने पड़ रहे हैं. रियाजुल हसन, keep your mic mute. रियाजुल हसन. So these are few words in which you can say any leader is engaged, or she must have these attributes or characteristics, and any leadership process will be engaged in these type of activities. For example, if you start from any one word, appreciation, leader must appreciate her team members on their performance. There must be some strategy of a leader which should be made before they move on to execute the activity along with the team. There must be a sense of humility, respect to others, and keeping yourself down to earth as a leader. Leader and team members must be committed to their work and to each other. They must be responsible towards the organization and to their day-to-day activities. They must listen to each other. It means they must have good communication skills, and they must listen to understand. Leaders and the team members must be honest with themselves, with each other, and with their organization. The character should be integral. There should be integrity in the leader from deep inside, and also the same must be observed in the team members. The strategy, the vision, and the mission made by the team along with the members and the leader, they must be based on the values. There must be some purpose, some goal, some target on the basis of which the strategy is developed. Leader and the team members must be determined to achieve their task, to achieve their target, their goal. They must be passionate. They must be doing their job with their heart. Their heart must be involved in their activities. And their leadership should be based on principles. एक किताब है, उसका नाम है प्रिंसिपल बेस्ड लीडरशिप. तो ये कुछ वर्ड्स हैं जिससे आपको अंदाजा हो गया होगा कि what type of activities, what type of attributes, what type of features are required, and they must be observed in any leadership process and in any leader and also among the team members. Then this is a statement given by John C. Maxwell, who is a leadership author and a great trainer in leadership. You can search his name on YouTube and Google, and you can find a lot of material, his books, his research papers, and his video lectures when he's giving training on leadership. You must go through these if you are interested to learn more. He says that a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Way means the path which we are going to follow as team, and leader is one who knows that way. It means that leader knows which path to follow, what actions are to be taken to reach to the destination, to achieve the goals. When he knows that way, he goes that way. It means he follows that way. He takes those steps. He takes or she takes those actions which he or she knows that are to be taken to reach to the target. Then he not only goes the way alone, but he or she shows the way to his team members. He takes or she takes her team members along with him or her onto that path, which is leading towards the destination, towards the target, towards the goal. It means that the leader makes the action plan, knows the way, is actually making the action plan on the basis of the strategic plan. And he follows that action plan, and he or she takes her team members as followers to take the actions according to the action plan. So it means there are two things. We have seen the word strategy in the previous slide, and that strategy is based on the vision, mission, and values. On the basis of those vision, mission, and values, strategic plan is developed, and on the basis of that strategic plan, action plan is developed. So that action plan is known to the leader. He follows that action plan, and he takes her team members to follow the same action plan. That is the meaning of this statement. So the whole strategic management, which is a subject in management science, comes in this quotation of John C. Maxwell. So strategic management is a full-fledged area on the basis of which you can say that leader is knowing the way, showing the way, and going on the way along with her team members. He is not saying that only team members should go on that way, but he also leads that particular action plan. Then leadership begins when you stop optimizing for yourself and you start optimizing for the team. The meaning of this is that a leader optimizes. Optimize means finding the best possible solution within the available resources, because resources are always limited. So we should keep in mind that within those resources, we have to optimize. We have to find the best possible solution within those limited resources. And That optimization, finding the best possible solution within the limited resources, is not for yourself as a leader. It should be an optimization process. It should be finding the best possible solution for your team and not for yourself. It means you should be selfless. You should not be selfish as a leader. You should take care of your team members. You should give benefit to them if they are doing their job in a best possible way. And you should not be talking about taking rewards yourself every time and not giving the reward to your team members. Not, as we have seen in the previous slide, that we should encourage, or we have seen in the slides, for example, you can see we should appreciate here, as it is written at the top left, and we should behave with a humility. So that gives you something that you don't become selfish. So you optimize for your team. You work in such a way that the best possible solution is obtained with limited resources, and not only you, but your team, your organization as a whole should grow. That is the meaning of you start optimizing for the team. Keep in your mind that your team, if you are teachers in your organization, schools or colleges, or if you are in any other organization, your team is your department colleagues, your fellows, your class students. If you are a teacher, then you are a leader as a teacher. And if you are not a teacher, then you may be the head of department in some other organization, and your team is your colleagues in that particular department if you are the head. Or if you are a teacher, then your team may be your teachers if you are head of that department, and other teachers of the department may be your team members. Within the class, if you are a teacher, your team can be your students. So you optimize for your students, you optimize for your colleagues, your fellow teachers within the department or within the school, if you are a principal even in a school or a college. So you don't optimize for yourself, you optimize for your team. Then comes the concept of leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. You cannot say that if you become a leader at some particular age and you don't need any further learning. No, learning and leadership are indispensable. They go side by side. And even being a leader, you must be engaged. You must involve yourself in the process of learning. And this is the statement given by American President John F. Kennedy. And learning, as you know, has many ways. One of the method or way of learning is reading books. So I always give preference to reading book, and I compel my students to purchase book every month, being my students in a semester. And I give 5 marks to those students who purchase one book every month during the semester. So you have to do it as well and show that book to me. Any book of your choice, no compulsion. So today a reader, tomorrow a leader. That is a statement given by Margaret Fuller. So it means that being a leader, or if you want to be a leader of tomorrow, you should start reading today and make reading as a habit. Maybe even a single page daily, but you must read daily basis, and that will make you a leader, because the books which are written, good books naturally, written by someone, any author, maybe from East or West, maybe in Urdu, in any language, in English, whichever language you like, and you can read in that language. All those book authors, they are having an experience of many years, which is you may say, written in that particular book. Maybe an experience of 10 to 20 years is written in that book. So if you read that book, you come across the experiences of 10, 20 years within a week or 2 weeks or 1 month when you finish that book. So instead of experiencing yourself, you can read the book and understand it and learn from the experiences of the author, and you can get that learning from the book uh, within a week or 2 or a month in which you finish that particular book. So reading habit is must, and I very much encourage that reading habit. I am practicing this habit for last many years with my students. I engage them in purchasing a book, reading a book. Whenever you will purchase, someday you will start reading. This is my belief. I believe in you. So at least start reading, start purchasing the book, and then keep it at your home in some shelf. And one day you will start reading. I understand that. Compel yourself to that reading activity. So there are some books shown over here, just for your interest, that there are many books which you can see on this slide: Leadership of Muhammad, Lead Like Jesus, The Great Sun Leadership, Leadership Genius of Julius Caesar, Extraordinary Leader, Turning Good Managers into Great Leaders, The Heart-Led Leader, The Leader Who Had No Title, Developing the Leader Within You, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, Start with Why, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and the 8th Habit. These are a few books which I have shown you over here. You can see from the top left, leadership characteristics learned from the lives of prophets like Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and like Isa alayhi salam. And the third book, The Great Sun Leadership, is a book written in 2016, I think. And this book is starting with the classical wisdom taken from the life of Moses, Musa alayhi salam, in a chapter Exodus, in which his life has been documented. Exodus is a chapter of the book which was given to Moses by Allah Ta'ala. And in this book, some leadership concepts are taken from Plato, Shakespeare, Machiavelli, John Austin, Carl Jung, Peter Drucker. So coming from the ancient times of Moses to Peter Drucker, which is the father of management science in 20th century. So covering all these thousands of years, you can see that leadership concepts exist, and they have been documented in this book, and classical wisdom has been used to be useful or applied for modern managers. So this is a book, The Great Sun Leadership. And then comes the book, The Leadership Genius of Julius Caesar. You know, Caesar was a Roman emperor. So his lifestyle, his kingship has been studied, and lessons from Julius Caesar were understood, and they have been documented here, who built a whole empire. And who built whole empire. And देखिए अब आपकी Then comes the heart-led leader. Heart-led leader, what does it mean? It means that a leader who takes his decisions or her decisions from heart. He lives his her life and leads his or her team from the heart, and it changes the whole organization and the life of the members of the team and his or herself. That is the meaning of heart-led leader. It means that heart plays a role in leadership. It is not only the mind which plays a role in leadership, heart is equally important. And that I will prove today with the concepts that you will see in the coming slides and in some future slides as well. Then the leader who had no title. This is another concept given by an author, Robin Sharma, and many others. It means that if you don't have any title, you are not the principal of a school, you are not the head of the institute, you are not the CEO of the organization, you are not the monitor of the class, you are not the class teacher, you are just simply an employee or simply a team member. No title, no designation is given to you, but still you can be a leader. That is the meaning, that is the philosophy which has been given in this book. Leader who had no title. It means without a title, you can behave as a leader. Behavior is important. Your responses in particular situations are important. Your actions which you take in particular scenarios are important. They identify whether you are a leader or you are not a leader. Maybe you had a title, but your behavior is such that it appears that if you are not a leader, that is the meaning of this book. Okay. Then comes the concept leader, developing the leader within you. Everyone is a born leader. You have to explore your leadership capabilities. You have to nourish your leadership characteristics, which are given to you by the Creator, and you have to develop those leadership skills. This is the concept over here. And then there are some laws of leadership which are described in the book, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Then there comes a very famous book. All these are best-selling books which I am showing over here. An author, Simon Sinek, he says that we should start with the word why. We should start with the question why. Why I am doing this? Why I am a teacher? Why I am doing MS education? Why I am a trainer? Why I am living this life? Why I am doing this particular task, this particular project? Why I am going to lead this team? Answer to why is must. You should start with answering this question why. Then comes what to do and how to do. Okay, so there is a concept of golden circle, which is given by Simon Sinek in this book. You can have this book in PDF form. All these books are, most of these books, maybe 2 or 3 may not be available, but all other books out of these, they are available in good bookshops in Pakistan. And some of these books have been translated even in Urdu. You can purchase an English book or its Urdu translation, and you can read these books and you can learn a lot. Then comes 2 classical books, which will be with us in the coming lectures as well. These 2 books are written by an author, which is Stephen R. Covey, an American author who was a priest in a church Then he left that church after 10, 12 years, and he did his PhD, and he became a teacher and a writer and a motivational trainer in leadership. He has written a book in 1987, which is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And this is a book which makes the basis of a leader. If you become habitual, if you become persistent and consistent in these 7 habits which are documented in this book, you become an effective person, and a person who is effective becomes a leader. And these 7 habits are not for a person of my age or your age. It is for any age. The habits are same, 7 habits, and they are the same for a child or a kid, a teenager, a young man or woman, a professional, an old man, whosoever he or she is. These 7 habits are for those. No age restriction. You practice them, you adopt them, and become habitual to those. You will become effective person and a leader. Then comes the 8th habit, which is above these 7 habits, and it covers all the 7 habits. It encompasses, it surrounds the 7 habits, and the 8th habit takes you uh, to a much higher level. It is the 7 habits are making you effective, but the 8th habit makes you great. So here in this book, the 8th habit, there is a concept given which is named as great leadership. So this is a style of leadership, you may say, or it is a model of leadership, which we call as great leadership. What is the meaning of greatness? Greatness means you live such a life that you leave a legacy behind you. When you die, people remember you as a great person. So that is, and everybody wants to live such a life. It's very natural. So that is only possible when you live the 8th habit. Ji, Miss Amna, you can ask, please. So these were the books which we have talked about, and I would recommend you to purchase at least the books which are given in all these books. I must recommend you to purchase. I have all these books with me in the hard copy as well as in the soft copy. Any one of these books you must purchase. One every month you may purchase if you like these books. Then I will be finishing this session over here because of the time